Welcome to Deliberations with Sonya, episode 9. Today we're going to be talking about breaking barriers to overcome the negative stereotypes that we face as professional women. Let's get at it.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I did have a teeny bit of technical difficulties. However, here we are, and I believe the stream is good everywhere. Anyway, welcome to Deliberations with Sonya, and today I'm excited to have the topic that I have today, and it's wait a minute, let me go back down. Breaking barriers. Overcoming negative stereotypes of minority women. And so to start, I would like to just basically get into why I chose this topic today and what it is that I hope to accomplish with, just having a real deliberations with Sonya talk about it. Because y'all know how I do. The world gets on my nerves and I have to come and let everybody know. Anyway, thanks for being here. Make sure you go and subscribe to my YouTube so that you can see the YouTube video, and also to anywhere podcasts are broadcast. Yeah, that's cute. Oh, these ain't even the glasses I was going to wear, but these is cool. Okay. Anyway. So, let's get it started. Today, click on the comments. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So the purpose of today's topic is to discuss the whys and the hows in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. The World Health. No, what is it? World Mental Health Month. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So what we're going to, be talking about is how we as minority women, and you can just say women too, regardless of their racial status, but, I really want to focus on minority women, how we are constantly put into stereotypical cages, or you could say positions where it can be said that we're overthinking it, or we're just missing the point. I was watching after Senator Feinstein passed away, and I had been already, looking at the way that the some of these men and women have treated Vice President Kamala Harris, and just the outright disrespect that Trump and the Republicans have been laying waste to the district attorney down in Atlanta and the district attorney in New York City, and how it's just not being met with any kind of, you guys need to stop that. You guys need to respect this lady. You need to respect her for the position. Forget that she's a lady, okay? Respect her for the position. And so one of the things that I really want to talk about today, with it being World Mental Health Month, is how these negative stereotypes, just on a daily basis, they end up turning into just preconceived, it's just a preconceived notion of what a person is about. For instance, if you think about the way that some of these people have talked about various women in leadership positions, you would think that in 2023 that people would be just happy that someone who had put in the work to get their education, to get the experience, to do all the things that these women do to be where they are, right? So, if you were in Afghanistan in a foxhole with a woman Marine, what? And you, one of them people in Congress who's never been in the military, never done anything, would you be worried about her ability to save your life? Or would you be like, oh my God, she's a girl, give me the gun? People are very dismissive of women, dismissive of what women have become. And so the goal today was to talk about why my channel is called The Queen Crusader. And as you can see, I keep my little sword because that is a symbol of empowerment. That is a symbol of, I'm not gonna just shy away from you. Okay? I spent over a decade practicing law in Alabama, in Mobile, in the South. You can count on one hand how many black women litigators. Okay? I'm not talking about child support or I'm talking about the black women litigators. It was less than 5 of us. Yeah. That was in court on a regular basis. And if you think that those men didn't look at us like, who is she? I'm me, I'm Sonya. And yes, I filed this motion. And yes, I will appeal. You judge because you fish with him. So let's deal with the facts. And that attitude, it did, get me known as, just, probably most likely to smack somebody. But you're disrespecting me. Okay? And it's not a but. You can't, we as women, we have to stop making excuses for being aggressive. Because nobody's going to give us anything. No one is going to come and save us as minority women. I'm going to talk about black women right now. Okay? People like to say we have an attitude, we ball busters, we mean, all of these things. But let's just take a look at all that America has done for us. Let's see. We have been the patriarchs of our families. We have, through history, not only taken care of our kids and our family, but their kids and their families. Even when we couldn't get enough food out in the fields to take care of our own families, we had to be up there nursing their kids. Okay? We've always been the beast of burden, so to speak. So my concern is that as I look at the landscape that we have in the country right now, I'm afraid. Okay, and I'm not afraid of no man or beast, believe that. But I'm afraid of where we're going. I'm afraid of where we're heading, right? Because if we're not going to hold these politicians' feet to the fire, if we're not going to make them give us the respect that we deserve, then you got the other MAGA Republicans. They trying to put everybody in little milkmaid dresses. Anyway, I said the crazy stuff about that. But anyway, you know what I mean. They want to tell you, what to do, how you can work, stay at home, raise your kids. No, because as black women, we have not been given that as a choice. Our men were divested and stripped and murdered over the course of history in America. So who's watching out for us? Who? It's about who watching out for us. Okay? And so what I want us is minority women, black women, Latina women, Caribbean women, Asian women, everybody, I want you to think about why. This is the question. Why would you let someone take your power? I watched the video with Senator Feinstein, and it was awesome because it was an old video. And this man is when she passed gun control. She was in Senate for 1 year, and then she led the fight and passed gun control. And on the video, they had, they were on the floor of Congress, and this older white man, he basically did to her what's been done to all of us at some point in time. And he said, and I can't quote, but the point is, he said, well, if you if you just learn something about guns, then you would XYZ, and you would know this, and you would know that. And she was like, baby, I know about guns. I am here because of guns. I watched my mayor, as I was the deputy mayor, get shot down in our city hall while I was administering first aid to him. Sticking my finger in the bullet hole, she said. And I have been shooting since XYZ and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. And, she just was like, be gone, you little peasant. And I'm going to tell you, we're all Queen Crusaders, and that's what you got to do. Okay? I was so just moved by that, because that was like, the 80s or something. I don't even remember. But to think that Senator Feinstein had been going through those kind of episodes and those kind of events for over the course of her career, and then yet we are still here having a battle about Kamala Harris' hair or her suit or whatever the case may be. I mean, how ridiculous is that? And let's ask about the personal self-esteem that we as women would allow ourselves to get caught up in that kind of discussion anyway. Okay? Kamala Harris don't have time to be worried about none of that. I love me some Uncle Jojo. I call my president Biden Uncle Jojo. I love Uncle Jojo because what's the alternative? And I love him anyway because he just be like, man, shit, fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's my son, and y'all can go to hell. And what? Now, if a man can say that and a man can feel like that, why can't a woman feel like that about her kids? Because I feel like that about my sons. And I'm not ever going to timid myself down so somebody can pat me on my head and say, there, it's going to be okay. No, I know it's going to be okay. Why? Because Jesus got me and I got me. But that's not the point. The point is, we have been watching ever since Trump got elected. We've been watching just the disrespect mount and mount and mount. And that has come with attacks on us, minorities. And so the question becomes, how do we break the barriers and rise above the misconceptions of the stereotypes, however, retain the strength that was God given to us from a life of strife? Okay? It's been a life of strife. If you black in America, it's been a life of strife. Okay? There's nothing else to say about it. When that fool was getting elected, I remember, I was what was I? Yeah, I was still in Alabama. Yeah, I think, yeah. Anyway, I had some colleagues and business associates who were like, "Oh, Sonya, you just being ridiculous. You just being overthinking it. You're just, not understanding, blah, blah, blah. He's just this or that." Let's fast forward to um, the insurrection. Now, I'm going to say this because with this being Mental Health Month, I'm going to just say, I was crying. Crying. I was sobbing when Trump was elected. I had to remove myself from like the universe for like a week. I could not get over the fact that my America that I was taught to love and fight for, and me and my family and the military and everything. I couldn't believe that people voted for him. I mean, and it's not like Democrat, Republican, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. That was never the issue. The issue was in a country of roughly 3 to 400 million people. It's very, very extremely disrespectful to know that even if 40%, 50%, whatever it was, I mean, this dude was just openly racist, etc., 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 sexist, etc., 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 all these things. And so, I feel like, hey, we're in a different world right now. And the world that we're in is, guess what? All bets is off. Okay? Ain't nobody coming to save us. Nobody. And so we have to worry about saving ourselves. And to that end, we need to be able to think about how we show up, right? So one of the things that I was reading when I was looking at the case involving that man, I can't remember the man's name, but he filed a lawsuit against the fund, the Black Women's Fund, I believe it's called. I was going, and what's crazy is I was about to apply for that fund, and then they closed it over the weekend. This weekend they closed it because the deadline was the end of September, no, October 1st, and so they closed it. The judge had to put an injunction on it. Nothing. Just look at this. You mad because minority women, small owned businesses are getting $20,000-$30,000 to help them set up their business. And you're saying, oh, that discriminates against white people. I can't even say it with a straight face because it's so stupid. Y'all better stop taking these wooden nickels. That's all I got to say. Because this is the deal. Listen to this. They used a 1870 something law to say, and the law was really a law during Reconstruction in the South to keep African Americans from being discriminated against in voting practices. I don't Freedom funders. Yeah, that was it. American Alliance. Yep, that's them. So yeah, I couldn't see my I couldn't see my what you call it. But yeah. So these men, these white men, this white man in the South, and Tommy Tuberville, he's all with the whole little click, and I'm gonna tell you about all that too. But the issue is, how are you a white man in the South? And I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I practice law in Mobile, Alabama, and I'm gonna tell you some honorable, good white men, especially that was on the bench. And we had some guys that was just, they were about righting wrongs. And many of these folks' histories came from, you know, Miss Bessie Lee took care of me all my life. So, hey, nobody better not mess with her. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Pat him on the back. No, it's just a respect thing. Right? I actually had a case where a judge actually came in. The lady didn't come in. I don't know. Anyway, the point was, it was like, you need to help out Miss So-and-so because them banks is trying to take her property off some predatory lending. I went in there, filed a couple of summary judgments, injunctions, whatever. By the time I finished with them and the judge ruled for me 50 million times, them people called me and went back up to Atlanta. It was like, look, I'm like, how you gonna take her property? You basically gave her $15, and I'm just being facetious. Let's just say he gave her $100, right? So they had a practice of coming into these minority black neighborhoods where black people own like hundreds of acres and shining object money in their face so that they could basically foreclose on the properties. Like, this property been paid off for like generations. But see, this is what they do. So this is my thing. And just coming from a straight up money perspective, if you don't have wealth, and wealth is not millions or any of that, sometimes it's just collateral. Okay? It's just collateral. But if at every juncture in the life of minorities, i.e. black people in America, I didn't talk about too many other people, but I'm going to say us on this, okay? Because my family is from the South. If every time a person owns property or real estate, it's taken by sovereign means sometimes. These things were done under the eyes of the courts and the government in the Jim Crow South. So you're mad because your progeny or whoever, your past, did a really good job on us, taking everything we own, lynching people. My granddad was born in 1800. He was a sharecropper, and the freedmen's and my grandparents, just all of that. Every time you turned around, their property was being seized. Something was being taken, and even into the 50s and 60s. Oh, we need to build a road. Oh, we need to make. My family had so much land on Lake Martin. So did a lot of other black families. But do you think any of them got their just desserts on that land? No, they didn't. However, how wonderful it would have been to go to college and know that, oh yeah, I need a student loan, but I don't need to pay because we're gonna use the equity in the land that my family owns. Wouldn't that have been some shit? So when I hear these arguments, it just spoils my blood. And then you think about the Great Migration, right? So people like my parents, a lot of other people's parents, they got upset, wanted to move, and said, okay, we can make some of ourselves, we can own something. But you redline the banks, redline, and usury, which was against the law until black people started moving into these areas. So these banks get paid off a 36% interest rate when they were charging white people 2% interest rate. And then you wonder why we don't have shit. We can't fix the shingles on our house. Woo! Yeah, I said, just for the sake of having a house, we have a house. But you charging us double and triple what you would charge a white person, and then you got the nerve. Anyway, I digress. Let me get to this point, y'all. And the point is this: we have to fight back against the notion that we're angry. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you, I'm not angry. I'm not angry about nothing. I mean, stuff is messed up, but I'm not angry. But what am I not going to do is smile in your face and shine your shoes and tell you your shit don't stink, because your shit stink. And as African Americans in this country, I'm about sick of the Democratic Party too. And I tell people this all the time. Because they ain't doing that. They're just sitting around like, oh, Democrats, you ain't doing nothing for us. And our people are being disrespected. We have to just learn how to communicate with each other as African Americans, right? So one of the things I put in my notes was, we think about Atlanta, right? I ain't picking on Atlanta, because I like Atlanta, but I would never live there because the traffic is horrible. I went to 2 job interviews there and was like, I don't care how much money they got, I ain't living here. I'm gonna tell you, this is the way I judge a place to live, and I digress because this don't have nothing to do with the podcast. But if I gotta get in a traffic jam to get a filet of fish meal, if getting a filet of fish meal, if I cannot get out the driveway, get my filet of fish, go sit back home, my fries are still hot while I'm sitting there watching the TV, I can't live here. Can't do it. No, that's too much stress. Because when you go out here in this world and you work your butt off, you don't want to be sitting in traffic trying to get no filet of fish meal. I remember when I was working at Prince George Medical Center in Washington, D.C., and I was living in Temple Hills. And I was like, I got to go. Because you couldn't get to McDonald's. And it was like right across the street within 30, 45 minutes. Cereal was $7, and that was in the 90s. Anyway, I digress. The point is, I was talking about major cities. So when people, for instance, with the Freedom Fund, I think about it from a standpoint of this. We are the dominant population in most of the major cities in the United States. I mean, we're not dominant, but we dominate the hoods, which is the center city of everywhere. Okay, this is how we get to be democratic enclaves. And so instead of being encouraging everyone to come to Atlanta as if it's the land of milk and honey, I propose a call to action where we look at where we're at. Because the federal government, we need to stop looking at that. We need to take that off the table. We need to act locally and think locally. We need to make sustainable businesses in our community. We need to hire us. And we need to buy from us. And people have been saying this forever, right? Just forever. However, we're at a wonderful place in time. Right now in the United States of America, as Black people, we're in a wonderful space and time. Because we create everything. We do everything. And I mean, we do it well. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, I gotta go get a white lawyer. I gotta go get a white banker. I gotta go wherever the white people at. Okay. That our children, our generation, we ain't got, no, we don't have to deal with that. And we are more trustworthy to ourselves. Oftentimes. Now, I ain't gonna tell you, I'm gonna go to every black business because some people are shady, but they just have to learn. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to do your people wrong. Black people put billions and billions of dollars in other people's pocket to beg every election to be paid attention to. How you gonna let this man down here talking about black people gotta benefit from slavery? He need his ass beat. Okay? I'm not gonna shed a tear. I'm not gonna change the words. He need his ass beat. And if that man win anybody office, I'm gonna get a tent and I'm gonna go live in it right outside the White House. Because if a motherfucker like that can be president of the United States, I'm just done fucking had it. I did not mean to say all that, but I did. I mean, I'm just, over it. I am absolutely over it. And so today's topic was about breaking barriers to manage our mental health. However, I believe that I've probably made a breakthrough. And the breakthrough is our mental health can't be managed in America as long as we're these crazy ass racists. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm just absolutely tired. I'm ready to deal with what we got. Deal with what we dealing with, right? So you're going to take away diversity and inclusion. Black people can't get along. Why? Because white people can't. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to say it right here. If you are white and you can't make it in these United States of America, you can't get into college, you can't start a business, you can't get along, guess what? You probably need to go to school and study some more. Because you have every benefit. Every benefit. Oh, I can't go to college because you took my scholarship. No, you don't deserve a scholarship because you don't deserve it. Ain't nobody in these colleges like, oh, they just gave us something. Okay? Ask Tommy Tuberville. How many of them black athletes' mama's house that he sat in talking about how he was going to take care of their kids, protect their kids while they run up and down that football field at Auburn and make him that $25 million. Okay? Ask Tommy Tuberville. He wasn't talking about black people in the military and not promoting black generals because we gotta have people who know what they doing. He wasn't saying that when he was recruiting all them black bodies to go get beat up and down that damn football field. I'm gonna tell you, people better stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Now, maybe this wasn't a good topic for me to do because I think I'm getting triggered. I'm getting off the fucking point. Okay. So, I digress. However, I do want to give this story. I do. I remember this story. And this is a true story, But this just goes to show the extent of how, as black women, we are now in the United States the most educated people on the block. We are doing stuff. We making business. We doing all of this for our babies. And they know it. They know it more than we know it. They look at the data. And they mad. Because they like, oh my God. They're in the corporate boardrooms. And we know how they do. When they stick a foot in and a toe in, they just go in and they take over. Remember when there wasn't no black quarterbacks? I mean, sports, And then there wasn't no black baseball players. And then there wasn't no black bankers, black entertainers, and black, just, everything black. And no one in the black community is sitting around saying, oh, we want to destroy the white people. We just living our lives, doing our thing. Having fun, trying to raise our kids and everything. But no, they want to come for us. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was just being, we are strong because we've had to be. Nobody woke up and said, oh yeah, I want to be discriminated against my whole damn life. My dad, when I was younger, he was like, I don't want to hear it. I used to come home crying. They said something bad about me. And they bust us, right? So, like, I went to John Hay, like, that was my zone, like, because we lived on Cedar. So, I was in the first crop of kids that they bust over to Waterston Lake. And Waterston Lake was this elementary school, but it was way over on the west side. And it was almost like the opposite neighborhood of our neighborhood, the way they did it. And so, I was sixth grade. Yeah, sixth grade. So I remember my parents, my dad had a good job, And so my mom was like, put my baby in private school. And when my dad went to enroll me in private school, they didn't have no more room. Because every black person with 2 nickels to rub together ran and put their kid. My dad tried to get me into, like, what was that? Saint some Catholic school. I mean, he tried everywhere, but it wasn't no spots. He wasted too much time, as my mother used to tell him. So yeah, I had to stay in the public school. And so when one incident happened, aside from very many incidents, but I tell this story quite often because what happened was I had at Waterston Lake, I had upon getting off the bus, there were these white people with picket signs, You'd have thought we was in Selma. So let me say, as someone who lives in both places, as someone who have family in both places, it's racist everywhere. What you gonna do? Clearly. Oh, hi. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so those people with the picket signs, they was spitting. It was so, oh my God. Yeah. But anyway, I just, was like, okay, and I was scared because I was a kid, grown-ups with signs, but my dad, he had followed the bus and, he was like, okay, a lot of parents did because they like, it's going down over here. Y'all touch my baby. Anyway, so after a while, that all died down because no one wanted it to turn into a whole race war while these people were threatening little black babies from the east side. So, I never forget, we were into the school year some, and some of the angst hadn't rubbed off because some of the young white students were just, it was just tension, right? And so I never forget this thing that happened. And when I think about, me and the women who taught me to be how I am and just growing up and coming up the way I am, we had some big old math test, And I think it was like, we were in honors or something. So it was like some kind of algebra, PA. I don't know. We was doing stuff. I don't know what. But anyway, I got the highest score. And do you know, I do not know this boy's name, but the teacher was like, Sonya, you get a gun star. You have the highest score. Do you know this little white boy in my class jumped up out of his seat and proclaimed, he proclaimed, I am the smartest person in this class, you little, I think he called me a bitch or something. I don't know what he called me. He called me a black something or another. And he was like, you cheated. You blah, blah, blah. And so we was at these desks where it was like this, pulled together, and then it was like that side, this side, that side, this side, that side, this side. And so when he was calling me them names, I don't know what came over me. It had to be the spirits of my ancestors. Because I jumped up out that chair and I went down to the end. And, there's a window down there. You had to go around to get to his side. And so he came down to the end and we was in each other's face. And he was like, and when I tell you, I went home, like the teacher was like, ooh. Now, that math test didn't mean nothing to me in the grand scheme of things. But what did matter to me was, you know what? You gonna sit your little ass down. You are not. I might be in the 6th grade, but I promise you're gonna be messed up when you go home. You have to tell your daddy what that black girl did to you. Because I was gonna take his face. Anyway, I digress. The point is, nothing has changed. Nothing. I faced men like that in the military. I faced men like that at law school. I faced men like that at law firms. I faced men like that in the courtrooms. I faced men like that my entire career. And I'm not mad. But get mad and do whatever you want to do. Guess what? I'm here. I'm gonna embarrass the shit out of you if you keep it up. And hey, I'm gonna get my paper just like you getting yours. And so you have to think about this. We have to work together so that we can all be a force to be reckoned with. Okay? We can't be sitting here like all of these, this video could go on forever, but I don't want it to because, I'm outside of my script now and there's just too much. There's just too much about this topic. And so I'll probably stay on it for the rest of the month. But the point is that we have to come together. And we have to come together really, really fast. Really, really quick. And we need to come together in such a way that we can be ready to hold these people accountable. Okay? Because this is our country and we matter and we're not to be disrespected like this across this country. For some reason, everybody think they can pop off and say, oh, well, black people this, black people that, minorities this, minorities that, oh, you can't have abortion, blah, blah, blah. These little impotent men, how you going to tell somebody what they can do? I mean, the part that bothers me with where we are in the United States right now is that this whole thing of a democracy, it only survives if people follow the rules. Without democracy, there's chaos. So what do we think is going to happen when and if all of this crap goes sideways? What are the MAGA Republicans looking for? I mean, it's like they're trying to start a new civil war. For what? It's just too much. It's just too much. And the whole thing is just driving us as a country more and more out of our mind. And you know what? I watch all the news channels, like all of them. And all of a sudden, everybody wants to pull the fire alarm. The fuck? It's been like this. Why y'all surprised? Y'all ain't had no problem reporting on these fools, y'all gave them the stage to get rich and make money. These people are dumb as rocks. They're not interested in governing. They're stupid. They're dumb as rocks. And so we're going to have another talk because I'm past my 45 minutes and I don't be wanting to go no hour. But anyway, we're going to talk again. And what I want to do is say, just like that little boy who came from my gold star. He came from my gold star. They done bust me over here to this school with his parents who crazy, don't want me here. And I done showed them, let me tell you, boo-boo, I'm the smartest person in this school, probably, okay? Probably not the whole school, but at least that building. But in hindsight, probably the whole damn building. And you're not coming from my gold star, little boy. You're not. I'm not going to dumb myself down for you or nobody else. And one thing is, we are all Queen Crusaders. And that is why I've named my publishing company Queen Crusader. That's why I'm sitting there in that picture, in that chair with my sword, looking cute as I could be, with my Manolos and my wonderful dress chair, whatever. Because that's my whole life story, as many of you. We have to be women. And as a woman, I love to dress. I love fashion. I love makeup. I love hair. I love it all. But don't come for my gold star. Don't come for my gold star. And when I look at Kamala and I look at Senator Feinstein and I look at the young woman that they just appointed to take Senator Feinstein's place, and I look at the DA down there in Atlanta, and I look at the DA in New York City, why we as black women always got to come save the damn day? You use us to save the day, but then you want to take our fucking gold star. The fuck? We don't have to negotiate with this country anymore. We don't owe this country shit. Okay? And we still ain't got no 40 acres in the mule. And I got paperwork on my family shit. So, anybody who say, oh, just let it be. Oops. Just let it be. You doing too much. We was doing too much when y'all sat your asses down and watched Trump. We was doing too much when we're in this predicament now. And we've done too little when somebody like Ron DeSantis can stand up and basically ridicule us, ban our books, and basically say, you ain't shit. Don't make me run for Senate, y'all. Because I'm going to tell you, there's a couple of people I want to meet up with. I got to stop. Anyway, ladies, you all have to join me. We're going to shatter these stereotypes. And how we going to shatter them? We're going to shatter them by being successful. We're going to shatter them by having a take no prisoner attitude. And we're going to shatter them by making sure that we can leave a legacy for our kids, for our babies, for our sons and our daughters and our grandkids. We're going to do that. Because ain't nobody going to do it for us. As we're moving forward, I'm going to be putting some more things in place, but we have to stick together to do better for us. We need to make a Black Wall Street in every major city. It needs to be a Black Wall Street in Detroit. It needs to be a Black Wall Street in Cleveland. It needs to be a Black Wall Street in New York. It needs to be a Black Wall Street in Mobile, Alabama, and Birmingham, Alabama. And it needs to be a Black Wall Street in Houston and everywhere we're at. And we need to bring money to the table, and we need to have people that are not afraid to stand up and be counted. That's what we need in the United States of America as minorities in this country. Because I'm going to tell you, there's some fools out here really trying to turn back the hands of time. And at the end of the day, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't about that life. Anyway, this has been Deliberations with Sonya. I need you to subscribe to my YouTube and to go and subscribe to my podcast, wherever the podcasts are. And I just want to say thank you for giving me your time today. Thank you, Karen, and all the other people from the LinkedIn and yes, Black Wall Street in every major city. Yes, girl. And you an accountant, honey. You know about that money. So we need to talk about that. Okay? There needs to be a Black Wall Street everywhere. And we need to get the LeBron Jameses and what's her name? All the people, Oprah, all the people with all the money. Because once we have established businesses in our community, you ain't gonna be showing up doing no Black Wall Street. No, nigga. That's not gonna happen again. Anyway, this has been Deliberations with Sonya. I love all y'all. We are all queens. We are all queen crusaders. Now go out, get you a sword, and we're gonna need to mount up. We the new cavalry up in this bush. Black women. We need horses, we need saddles, and we need swords. And we need to be ready for the Tubervilles. I mean, not literally, figuratively, because, you know, can't go to jail or nothing. But anyway, this has been Deliberations with Sonya. I love y'all. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, hit me in the comments, and let's talk. Next time I get on here, I want some people emailing me. I want some notes about how we going to go about getting this Black Wall Street in every city in which we dominate. Good night. Lift up my water screen. In the screen.